have you made your New Year's resolution yet? If you haven't, we're here to help you. This morning we have motivational speaker Geo Derice with us to talk all about this. We want to start with goal setting. This is probably the prime time to start setting your goal for the new year. What are some of the common New Year's resolutions people make, and how do you go about setting your goals for the next year?
Yeah, a lot of people say they want to lose weight, stop spending so much money on DoorDash, things of that nature. So they're normally health, finance related. Maybe they're like, this is the year that I find my right one, so there could be relationship ones as well. When it comes to setting the goals though, I think a lot of times we have these lofty goals where we want to be like, hey, I'm going to do this every single day. And oftentimes that's where we run into some trouble.
Right. And you see a lot of people at the gym at the beginning of the year. Correct. And then by December, it's empty in the gym.
Yes.
And I'm guilty of that as well. So it's one thing to have a resolution, to start a new habit. It's another to stay motivated throughout the entire year. So what do you say to people who are trying to make it past January?
No, I think the biggest thing is thinking about what you just said, past January. I think a lot of times we have the goal for January 1st. And it sounds really good. Oh my gosh, I want to be this person that's part of the 5 a.m. workout club. And it's like, okay, that's good, but that's a new identity that's so big that it's hard to like consume. Versus being somebody who says, hey, you know what? I'm just going to move every single day a little bit. And I think sometimes we want to be so specific that we set ourselves up for failure instead of being more broad, something that's very manageable to do, and then be able to say, I did that every single day or 5 times out of 7 days in a week.
Yeah, and also just to add to that, you know, when you set such a big goal, and if you fall off just one day, you feel like a failure, so you just give up on the whole thing.
Yes, I've been there. I've been there.
So what are some of the common mistakes people make when it comes to sticking to the resolutions? You've talked a little bit about that, and just give us some more advice on how to avoid some of those mistakes as well.
Yeah, I think make it so easy that you can't fail, right? So the part of it where like, hey, I just did 5 push-ups a day. That doesn't sound exciting, but it's the boring stuff that leads to consistency. The 5 push-ups a day, the walking around the block, I had one meal that I didn't order out of. Like those little things, when they're compounded, creates huge results. I think of somebody who says, I did 5 push-ups a day. And let's say they missed 60 days of push-ups in a year. They still did 1,500.
Right.
Now, 1,500 push-ups is a lot better than you doing the perfect chest workout or the perfect leg workout or the perfect run. And that's the thing that's going to lead to consistency. And then you'll start to see results. And then the results becomes your motivation instead of you having to have motivation to get the results.
And I also think it's so important for us to understand that we may hit a slump. You know, at some point during the year, you may not be as motivated to continue going. So when you hit that roadblock, what should you do?
Don't let it define you. I think when you get these setbacks, we go ahead and say, oh my gosh, you know what? I missed that workout. I'm a failure. I say the biggest thing is to not have it be a streak. If you missed a day, the key is getting back on the horse as quickly as you possibly can.
All right.
So that way you don't have 2 days in a row, because when you have 2 days in a row, now you really feel like a failure. If one day made you feel like a failure, 2 days is gonna make you feel worse. So if you can just get back on the horse, and that's why it's important that the goals are smaller in nature, because it's a lot easier to go and pick it back up again versus like, hey, I'm gonna run a marathon today. Well, if you miss that one, you ain't doing that tomorrow, right? So the key is if we could have them be micro, small enough where it almost feels like if you told it to somebody else, they would be like, so what?
Right.
But it's those so whats that you do over time. And they're like, what did you do? And you're like, I just did 5 push-ups a day. That's how it started. And I think a lot of people were like trying to think of December 31st on January 1st. And I think the key is if we could repeat January over and over again and have February, March, April, and May look like the January, we'll be a lot more successful.
All right, thank you so much, Geo Derice, motivational speaker. We appreciate you joining us here on the show.
Thank you, Faith.
All right.